speak louder.
Alright.
He's quite loud on my end anyway, so it's fine.
Alright.
Alright.
Cool. Okay.
So you
there's
guys do the countdown. I'm gonna leave the call real quick.
Yeah, no worries.
Alright.
Just let us know when we're live. I don't know.
No, we're live now.
Oh, right, okay. So it's just a case of doing the countdown going.
Yeah, so.
Sweet.
Okay, hold on.
See you guys when the run starts. Yeah, so.
Okay, hold
Sweet.
on. Let me restart live.
See you guys when the run starts.
Yeah. Should be fine.
I'm just restarting live split real quick. It seems to be a bit awkward.
And I'm quickly gonna check something. What's they got a second? Mainly just mirror record just to see what happened.
Yeah, looking at your splits, it's just Japan.
Give us 1 sec. There. Oh, there. Right, yeah, there is 5 rallies, and we skipped Japan. Yeah, that's right, yeah, just Japan. Okay, right, I'm ready. You ready?
Hold on, live split has disappeared and won't come back.
Oh boy. Technical difficulties, folks, please stand by. Yeah. Okay, so whilst Lonne's sorting that out, since we're live, I'll do a quick explanation. So,
there we go. Okay.
Basically, myself, aka Viper Racing, and the other guy, Lonne, are doing a speed run of McRae Rally 04, which you can no doubt see on our screens. More so probably on mine than his, but either way. So we're doing the 2-wheel drive championship today, and the championship's quite a short one compared to the 4-wheel drive championship. That's because it's about 6 stages, I believe, per rally. So what that means is, because it's 6 stages, yeah, there's going to be quite a bit of race between us two. It should be close between us two. We are using the same car, and both of us, I think we can easily get underestimated by easily. But just to quickly explain as well, I think Lonne's ready. Actually, we'll jump into the run now. I'll explain.
I'm ready to go.
Okay, Lonne. All right, you do the countdown, and I'm ready.
All right, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Okay, nice. Cool. Okay, so as mentioned, as we get into this, so we're doing like the 2-wheel drive championship. Reckon this could be because we've done this run so many times before. It's unreal. Like, there is no doubt.
3, 2.
So originally there is actually 2 cars, alternate cars in the championship. Basically, for the 4-wheel drive championships and the 2-wheel drive, you have a car selection usually. So the reason for why we've chose this car is mainly because, well, it's a marathon run.
It's not the fastest car.
It's not the fastest by a long shot, but we reckon we could easily get underestimated with this, just because it's only slightly slower, I'd say. But there is actually 5 cars for the 2-wheel drive championship, and in the 2-wheel drive championship, so the 5 cars are the NGZR, which you can see myself and Lonne using, and there's also a Citroen Saxo kit car, a Fiat Punto kit car, a Ford Puma kit car, and finally a VW Golf kit car. Now originally the Golf is actually locked until you complete the 2-wheel drive championship, at which point you unlock it and you can use it. The Golf is the quickest car by far to use for this run, and it's the one that's currently used for the world record run, which is currently held by me. However, the Punto is a good choice for if you're doing this run the first time round, since that is considered the fastest car of the bunch. Now, for the reason for me, I've used semi-automatic gears. There's a specific reason for that. So half the time, if you play the game with manual gears, it proves to be a bit tricky. If you play them with automatic gears, the game feels too easy. But semi-automatic's like a good medium and actually allows you to change down the gears manually. So, for example, if there's a corner which you think is too tight, for example, you think you're in too low of a gear, you can change down a gear in automatic the car wouldn't do this. In a manual, obviously, you'd have full control of the gears. So, hence the reason why I'm using semi-auto. I'm not quite sure if Lonne's using it.
Yeah, I'm using semi-auto just in case I need to change gears manually. I just let the game do it.
So there's 5 rallies in this run in total. There is Australia, which we are currently doing now. I believe Finland is one of them. There's Japan, which unfortunately we skipped. I think Spain.
It's
and
Australia,
UK.
Finland, Spain, Japan, and UK.
Yeah, that's the one. And the reason why we skipped Spain, the reason why we skipped Japan. So, long story short, Japan takes a hell of a long time. It's considered, like, its stages is very long. Each stage is like 3.5 to 4 minutes long. So by skipping that, you save a lot of time. And fortunately, if you still win all of the other rallies, so if you win 4 out of 5 rallies, you win the championship, even though you're forfeiting 15 points.
You have enough points to have in the first place.
So it's not too bad.
Long 4 right. Into long 6
315, 316, not bad. Ooh, and hit the wall for good measure. So we do this in 2 stages at a time, 2-stage segments, and in these 2-stage segments we'll have several, like on different rallies we'll have different weather. So Finland is where you'll see us experience the most problems. The reason being for that is because we go from dry weather to wet weather and back to dry weather again. And your tyres take a hell of a crumpling. So to save time even more on this one, what we try to do is avoid as much as possible the actual repair station, so from repairing our car. It doesn't waste too much time if you do. Yeah. It doesn't waste too much time, but it's ideal that if you don't repair your car too much, you can save time, because obviously you can just skip right past it. So it's kind of, in a way, it's a bit weird to say for a racing game, but it's all about this run, funnily enough, and I believe the 4-wheel drive run is the same, along with the other championships in this game. The more conservative you can drive, the better. So it's the case of doing what you need to and getting on with it, really. Driving as fast as possible, but not wrecking your car as much. Again, like I said, taking the conservative approach. You might say us take a few like small little shortcuts on stages, a shortcut here, a cut there. That's obviously just to save on time. The one stage that I think grinds my gears more than any other is Finland. I think Finland stage 2 or 3. There's one with a lot of crests in it. I say, no, not crests, what they call ditches. And they're the worst, because if your car gets stuck in one, wow, you are going at like 2 miles an hour. It's very slow. You know, that game isn't, this game, sorry, is not, it's relentless. It doesn't give you a second chance to breathe. So it's like, if you go in that ditch, you're going in it. You ain't getting out.
There's no auto respawn or manual respawn. The game will respawn you if you're stuck, but the game doesn't determine you to be stuck for a while. Only
so you have to
like,
kind of reset.
Does it quickly restart. Most of the time you're on your own.
Exactly, yeah. That's the only downside.
50, very long 5 right.
Like we were saying before, so we picked the MG, both of us, just because, funnily enough, I have never used this car for this run before. I don't think you have either.
I've only used the Golf and the Hunter.
So this, for us, will be a first of us both driving this car and seeing who can get used to it better over the course of this run. And it's also noted as well that neither me or Lonne have played this game too often lately. Like, we were playing it a bit consecutively, I think, between the two of us, but yeah, it's not like a game we've been grinding away for the last few weeks. It's just something we picked up, and funnily enough, Lonne proved a tough challenge against me, so it was kind of a reason for me to run the game, so to speak. Also, we will get auto. There we go. Okay, we will get auto saves, which was a effect, but it's no biggie. Also, as you saw there, I've repaired the wheels. That will help me quite a bit, just because of the fact that, well, kind of need it.
Damaging, like having losing a tire is a huge time loss. because your car loses a lot of grip in it. I don't know if it's it feels like you go slower at least. I don't know if you actually go slower. You do lose a lot of grip.
Yeah, you find that if you stay online for a stage, that you'll keep plenty of life in your tyres. The one thing that can usually wear them out is excessive wheel spin on the desired surface you're on. Also driving on different surfaces, so for example, we're in Australia, so we have the gravel tyre on, sorry. And if we go on tarmac, we'll burn them out pretty fast. So it's all about, like I said, driving as fast as you can go, but without wrecking your tyres. So try not to do like excessive sliding into corners and things like that. Because like little excessive steering or managing to somehow slide too much in gravel can cause your tyre to shred. And we do mean this. The tyres go bang. This game has that sort of damage model.
Yeah.
Bear in mind, this game came out in 2003.
Yeah. It's labelled 04, but the game came out in 2003. Like what they do with
Ironic.
sports games.
They come out, they say for the year after, but they come out the year before. But the one thing that, like I said, for a game that came out in 2003, the PC version doesn't look too bad, and the damage model is pretty good. I think it's the main reason why, believe it or not, a lot of people who played the series are particular fans of this game. I, funnily enough, have never been a fan of 04, but that's not stopped me from playing it. You know, from putting me off from playing it. There is a couple of games that we're doing in this series. Obviously, for the sake of this one, we're doing the 04 game. And funnily enough, speaking of which, as the series as a whole, we have our own, I feel like this is a brilliant time to mention, that the Colin McRae Rally Speedrunning Association, shall we say, I don't know. Speedrunners, not association, that's wrong. Speedrunners group? Community. There we go, that was the word I was looking for. We're actually running a little speedrunning marathon of our own. It's the first time we've ever run it, so it's brand new. Called McRaeathon. And as you might imagine, it's all to do with the Colin McRae Rally games and the Colin McRae games in general. Now, for the sake of the purpose on this one, we are excluding the Dirt Series for this first time running it, just so the marathon doesn't go on for ages and ages and ages. However, we do have plans to run a second one, at the moment we are, like I said, we're planning on a second one, but we're going to take it as it goes with the first one. And we'll decide if we're actually going to run the second one next year or maybe even later down the line. We'll see. Probably next year though, you never know. Anyway, so the main point of this marathon that the Colin McRae Rally community has going on, it's basically to run all 5 Colin McRae Rally games, so the first game, the second game, the third game, the fourth and the fifth game. So Colin McRae Rally 1, Colin McRae Rally 2.0, Colin McRae Rally 3, Colin McRae Rally 04 this one, and Colin McRae Rally 2005. Now,
wait, hold on. Here's a quick drinking game for everyone. Take a shot every time you said Colin McRae.
Yeah, I said it quite a few times. But basically, like I said, long story short, we are running that marathon on August 4th, which is a Saturday at 1 PM. And to celebrate the momentous occasion, yes, as Lonne said, it will be on his birthday. Originally, originally my plan was to run the marathon, or to get the marathon to be run on the day of his death, but I think we felt it was a bit too dark, so we ended up going with his birthday, which puts it on a bit of a better note. Yeah, but yeah, I just thought I'd bring that up. Seemed like an ideal time now more than anything else. But yeah. Should be a decent run up to what we've got. It might look pretty boring and straightforward to a lot of people out there, because a lot of people aren't into racing games speedruns or racing games in general, which is fair. But for us, myself and Lonne are like big racing fans, so fair to say, this is our type of speedrun.
Racing game speedrunning is actually surprisingly big.
Long 4 right, opens over
And I'm
It might not seem it, but
I'm
it
not
is.
including like Mario Kart stuff for obvious reasons. But like your stuff like your Need
6
for
left
Speed,
over crest,
your
50.
Call of
And
Duty.
Forzas and some
Yeah,
stuff.
there's actually a surprisingly
6
decently
left,
sized
Kia
speed
straight
bumps.
crest, and 5 right.
I mean, I don't know what the most popular racing game is, excluding stuff like Mario Kart, but I'd
Excluding
probably
stuff
have to
like
go with
Mario
Need for
Kart,
Speed.
Right, 30.
Carbon are most wanted, I think.
4 left
Yeah.
over crest.
Need for Speed Carbon or Need for Speed are most wanted. And there's kind of, I hate to say it, but there's one reason for why that game is quite popular. His name is Kuru. Now, a lot of people will probably know who this guy is. If you don't, long story short, he's a Twitch streamer, Twitch partner actually, shall I say, who speedruns racing games, just like several other people do.
His main niche
He's
is
got
most
quite a
wanted.
following. He's got quite a following, Kuru. So it's not like he's like me or Lonne that's got I would say like like 150 as well. This guy's got like, I think, what's he at, like 10,000 or 40k or something like that. Yeah, 40, well at least you know numbers. But yeah, as you can tell from those numbers alone, he's quite popular. It might not sound too big, saying, alright, he's got 40k followers, alright, that's nothing compared to the likes of like Fortnite players, but let's not forget, racing games aren't as big as a thing as, say, Fortnite or Call of Duty. So 40,000 is pretty big in the racing community side of things.
Even in speedrunning.
Yeah, especially speedrunning.
That would, having 40,000 followers is definitely one of the bigger channels.
And long 5
So it is something. And also, one other thing as well is, it might seem like a common question a lot of people might ask as well is, oh, but it's very difficult to even get involved in a speedrun like a racing game. It must be really difficult because you have to win all the races. In some cases that is the case. You just have to go as fast as possible and the fastest time wins. But half the time you can get away with like what we're doing. We're, as mentioned before, we're skipping a rally and still winning the championship. So you don't have to win every single stage in a run to actually finish the game, if that makes sense. So you might be able to skip it somehow or make the run faster because you didn't have to do a certain rally. You just had to go somewhere and do something. Also, my front right tyre's shredding.
Yeah, I just lost it.
Is yours gone?
I had a
front right.
Front right, yeah. I can hear it grinding.
120.
I crashed into the second bridge because I was just a little too left.
I've not crashed yet, and my right tyre hasn't shredded yet, but I can hear it.
Yeah,
It's just going.
The
The rubber's really coming off. Dun, dun, dun.
But we're on the 4th stage anyway, so it'll get repaired next, or get repaired for this special stage.
Exactly.
Yeah, so for each of the rallies, there's 5 stages, which is 4 of these rally stages, and then we have called a special stage, which is essentially a circuit that is split into 2 sections, but they're both linked together. You essentially have to do what is essentially 2 laps on the circuit in order to finish, like one on your opponent. It's a head-to-head, like a 1v1 race with another driver, and it's just whoever does 2 laps first, really.
Most of the tracks as well, super special stages are, I think, you mentioned the fact that the crossovers, right?
Mm-hmm.
So they cross over and things like that.
Well, yeah, that's another way to actually call them, would be to call them crossover. Because that is kind of...
So, yeah, so the thing is, you'll notice, like, for example, now that there's a tunnel on my side. So I'm going under it, the other guy is going over it. So it's a case of should we say a tale of 2 halves? 2 different routes, and each route can be full of jumps on one side and it can be very quick on the other side. That's the thing, like, you could be doing God knows how fast through one corner and then going extremely slow through another corner. It's a bit odd. It's like I said, you'll notice now, like, the route on the left hand side is quicker through this corner, but this route might be quicker than that side just because of the fact that, well, there's more straights in it and there's less jumps. It's a bit of mix and match, really. I like the super special stages, mainly because you're running against an actual AI car.
Yeah.
And these, I believe, are the only times in the game where you'll see another AI car on track with you. Most of the time, you're racing against invisible AI.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're just racing against time.
Pretty much.
70.
Also, I think I've nearly finished Australia. I just need to make sure I don't wreck the car too much.
36 right over crest, tightens to 3.
So thankfully, there's no Sweden on this. If there was,
Yeah.
this would take...
4 left.
Oh no, I forgot Finland's the one that's hell, isn't
And
it?
6 left into big
Finland's
jump.
awful. It's not really awful, the people there have been genuinely nice. It's got some good racing drivers too.
And 6 left over jump,
Valtteri
tightens.
Bottas, Kimi Räikkönen, McRae, just to name a few.
3 right.
But the country on this game is just awful. So what you see us do there is we skip the parts testing between countries, mainly just to make, again, to make this run faster. Now we could do them and upgrade our cars,
Okay.
but
I never actually knew what they did.
we
Just
don't do
scrap
that.
them.
50 to stop.
So I said, alternatively, we can do those. It will make our car faster and more better on the road, like better power for the engine, better brakes and things like that. Just like I said, just to make the run a bit faster, we're going to skip all those and just do the rallies themselves. So this is Finland. Finland's not very nice on its stages. It's awful. Mainly because you're thinking, well, why is that? Well, long story short, your tyres shred easily on this rally.
Yeah, they do.
And we really do mean this. Your tyres really do shred. Like, there's no joking around with this. It is awful. And also, definitely something to keep in mind as well. Definitely repair your tyres on this rally by none. I mean, if you... I was lucky, I actually managed to get through... So on my, like, world record run, or should we just call it PB attempt?
Yeah, or record.
The actual, like, driving of myself was quite conservative. Like, I had to be faster, obviously, face a good task of keeping Lonne on his toes and making sure that, you know, he give him a bit of run for his money, so to speak, because that's the idea of speedrunning, giving the other guy a run for his money. But the other thing I had to make sure was obviously driving efficiently, not shredding the tyres and not getting a puncture. Now, getting a puncture in this rally, when you don't repair the tyres, is exceedingly common. Like, it usually goes bang on stage 3 or 4.
Yeah, stage 3 is notorious. I've always had a tyre go up in stage 3.
But if you're efficient enough with your driving, you'll find that the tyres just about last till the end of stage 4, at which point the tyres get automatically repaired so you can do the super special stage. So that is something. It is something. Also, I think, is it Spain after this? I think it is.
Yeah,
isn't
it's
it?
Spain after.
And we skip
Spain's
Japan.
my
and
favourite
then
stage because it's all tarmac.
Yeah, love tarmac rallies.
Yeah, the
Tarmac-
cars handle quite differently on each terrain. You'll notice the cars will handle a lot better on the tarmac when we get there.
Yeah, so for example, at the moment we've driven on gravel and we're still driving on gravel, however this gravel is slightly different. So in Australia we have medium and heavy gravel, and in Finland we have light and medium gravel with wet gravel, I was going to say wet weather then, but wet gravel being thrown in there for good measure and keeping you on your toes for shredding your tyres. Then we get to Spain. It's just tarmac heaven, as I like to call it. It's very nice. It's bliss to drive, and I can't really argue with it if I'm honest.
Yeah.
Then we get to Japan. Wet weather, but it's wet tarmac, not dry tarmac, and it's pretty challenging, which is the reason why we skip it too. Like I said, the main reason is because the stage takes so long, so it's well worth skipping it. And then finally, last but not least, we have the UK, which is where we take on mud. Wet mud, tarmac, you name it.
Oh, yeah. When we get to England or to UK, expect a lot of wet. That's pretty much all the UK is known for, is being wet. And it's
Exactly.
and as, you know, being two local British people, we can confirm it is pretty much wet.
It is exactly like the game portrays it. Maybe not thunderstorms every now and again, but we do get them.
Not all the time. But I don't know about you, but recently we've been getting rain.
Yeah, we had a thunderstorm, the house was leaking. Seriously. like construction going on the house. So the house has been leaking in the house, in the like utility room downstairs. I had to do it like a balancing act of like 3 bowls and a gravy jug just to stop water from getting in. It was pretty impressive. Yeah, it was pretty good. Also, something that might make a lot of people, if a lot of people in here are racing fans, I know Lonne is obviously, why else would he be doing this run? But I don't know how many people are familiar with a Japanese racing series called Initial D. So there's a video game of it, several actually, and yeah, there's several. One on the PS1, funnily enough.
Right, that game's just cutscenes, near enough. There's a lot of cutscenes.
There's that one that's been recent. That one that was, is it Stage 7 or something? That one was released in arcades.
Or there's a lot of arcade games.
70.
Pretty much. By Sega.
I think Stage 8 recently came out. I'm not. Is it Stage 8 or
no,
the 8th
Stage
something? Stage 0. That's the new one.
Yeah, the new one's called, ironically enough, Stage 0.
Even though the last one was Stage 7?
No, 8.
Oh, 8, yeah.
There's 9 games and one of them's called 0. It's not the first one.
Impressive. Very impressive. Nice. Oh, I didn't change to wet gravel tires. Oh. Well, there goes my tires. So I might be in trouble here. So I'm... Oh, yeah, Stage 3 is definitely the one with all the ditches. So we will see a lot of ditches in this game, and this stage is full of them. Like, I'm not even joking. Doesn't look too bad now, but believe me, it is.
5, 4, 3,
also,
2.
So we might end up shredding our tires for this.
Oh, no, I switched away.
Oh, at least you're smart and you did it. I didn't. I might be in trouble here.
The only, funnily enough, the only damaged part of my car was actually the tires. I'm actually pretty chuffed with myself.
I had bodywork, brakes, suspension, and apart from like some bits were damaged, and tires obviously.
Yeah.
So the reason I actually, funnily enough, the reason I bring up the Initial D stuff is there's actually a shop that's selling 118. I'm not even joking. I bought one myself. They're selling 300 limited edition Toyota Corolla 8086s in the style of the 118 scale from Japan. And I've been lucky enough to pick one up. I saw an offer and I was like, I am buying that. I didn't like hesitate. I was just like, I'm buying that. So the next stream that I do, it won't be shown on it because it's going to take, I think, it's like 3 weeks to get it because it's coming from Japan. But I can't wait to get it. It's going to be amazing. But yeah, it's got like all the signature Japanese text on the side and like the one with the white body and them custom wheels on it and stuff like that.
Hopefully someone in chat understands.
Yeah, if you don't, just ignore us. But yeah, like, it's something I'm looking forward to getting it. I just, like I said, I bought it and I was like, oh wow, that looks amazing. I might have one of those.
Yeah.
Very long 5-right Titans.
But, yeah. Also, to everyone that's in my stream currently, I'll just quickly mention everyone that's in my stream that are watching it directly from my Twitch channel, head over to the title of my stream where I'm... This is live over at NGRMarathon, or Next Gen Runners, it's the marathon. And they're supporting, I believe it's an American charity? So it's all for charity, it's fine. It's all for charity. And that's where you'll be able to see both my side and Lonne's side too. So you'll be able to see different perspective of audience watching the stream. And for those that are wondering why there's no timer on my screen, it's actually because the marathon itself has got one going and Lonne himself has got one. So if you want to see where we're at time wise, feel free to head over to either Lonne or NGR.
We're at like 26 and a half.
4 left, don't cut, 50.
Give or take. Last time I checked.
I would look at my timer, but
there is none.
oh, it's full screen mode, so I can't see anything. Never mind.
And 6 left
Cool.
into 6 right. Don't
Oh,
cut and
Because
jump
this game's in
middle.
full screen, actually getting it set up to actually be able to view everything else is a nightmare.
Into jump
Because
and
it's
6
in,
right over
I
crest.
think,
30.
1024 by 768,
Here,
I think?
5 left.
Or
70.
1280 by
Yes.
960? Something like that.
Yeah, 4x3, yeah.
6 left
Yeah.
into gear, 6 left over jump.
Or
30.
1280 by 960, yeah.
Yeah, something
Crest
like that.
and long for right
I don't
over
remember.
crest.
I'm pretty sure it's the
Turn right,
highest
hairpin
I
left.
selected. Like the highest option.
Gotta get those graphics in.
30. Long
Gotta have those
crest and
graphics,
6
can't have it
left.
looking like an old 2003 game. No.
Yeah.
6 right
Make it
over
look like
crest.
I still look about a 2009 game.
56
Looks a lot better than it actually is.
Yeah.
That's the thing, like, the Colin McRae rally games in general,
50.
just for people that don't know, the second game looks surprisingly good for a game that was
Yeah,
released in
especially
2000.
if you play it on a modern resolution, it actually
Like, if you play it on
aged
1080, it looks
surprisingly well.
5 left, tightens over crest. Don't
It actually works in 720p and 1080p resolutions. The game supports it on PC,
Yeah.
unlike
Although-
the PS1,
Although if
which
you want to
isn't
play,
great.
although if you really want to play it on like, or to play it on a modern
Into 6
operating
right
system,
over
you
crest,
need to
keep
download
in
the
and 5
Silent Pack. Is that what it's called?
That's the one. So
Yeah,
that's,
because it does fix a
Into
bit,
gear,
a
4
few
right
of the
over jump,
new,
keep in, into
or like
6 left
new
and
operating
6 right
system
over
bugs
big
the
jump.
game has, because obviously it's a
And
game
6
from
left over jump into
99,
long 6 left.
so it has
And
a
straight jump
couple
into 6
problems.
left over jump.
The
30.
first game,
Big jump
however,
and 6
let's
left.
just say that's got problems of itself.
Oh yeah.
Into long
The
right
first
over
game
crest.
is a buggy mess. Unless you've got something that can run it properly, like a Windows XP computer
Yeah.
or a Windows
5,
XP operating system
4,
on your computer,
3,
that's the only
2,
chance you could probably run it
1.
without it crashing a lot.
Into
The game's
Yeah.
not, it's basically Game Crash Simulator
Yeah,
2018.
on modern operating systems, it is notoriously buggy. The game has poor
And 6 left
performance
over
in
jump,
menus,
into 6
graphic
left and
glitches
right,
in the menus.
into crest and long 5
The
right,
game
tightens.
crashes very often when loading
And 4 left
stages.
over jump. And
So
6
it's,
right
There's a
it's,
lot
one
of
of the,
problems.
it's one of the only games that is on console and PC, but
And
running the
gear 3
PC
right, don't
version
cut.
is not faster on a newer operating
It is
system.
kind of. It is technically faster,
It's-
but it only depends on how many game crashes you get.
Yeah.
But the thing is, and depends on driving skill as well, because as I recently found out, or about 2 weeks ago, I did a run of the intermediate category, and ended up beating, like, I set the PS1, like, time that I did, which was like a 2:45. I set that as the benchmark, and yeah, I got a 2:34.
So it's
50
faster,
yeah,
but
something.
it's
It's faster by
only if you
over
can-
10 minutes, but
only
it had
if you
5
can
game
do
crashes
it.
during the course of the run.
which would
So you have
cost
to restart
like
the
a few
game.
minutes.
Plus, to keep the efficiency of the run, I actually saved after every 2 stages. Now, normally in a run, unlike this one where it auto-saves anyway, you don't normally save. So you used to just skip over, if it said save game, you just click no. But in that game, because of how buggy it is, and how much it crashes, yeah, it's better off if you save every 2 stages, because that way if a game does crash, and you've just done 2 stages, and you saved it, if it crashes on that next stage, then at least you can just resume from the start of that stage, and that's pretty much it. There's not a lot else other than that.
Yeah, so the game is recommended to be ran on console.
Preferably, yes. The
Unless you
fastest
have an
version, in
Xbox.
case anyone wants to know, funnily enough, we found region difference actually comes into effect with that game. So if you play it on PAL, the fastest load time for that game, I think, is like 6 seconds. It's about the same with the NTSC version. However, due to the frame rate, you can get much faster stage times. So you can push like hell on PAL for, say, the first stage in the game and get like a 2:18 or 2:19. But then you do it on the PS1 on the NTSC version and you get like a 2:14. If you're on PC, you could probably drop that to a 2:11 or a 2:12. This is in like the novice cars, by the way. So you can see the the physical difference in terms of stage times, and that's kind of what you're after. Obviously, you're after the best RTA time,
Funnily
but
enough,
you're also after the best in-game time
yeah,
too.
funnily enough, that's the reverse for 2.0. PAL version.
Yeah, 2.0 is completely different. In fact, I'd say the thing is, the one thing we've concluded on this is that CMR2's PAL version is much faster, But from what I can tell, I think it is about the same. I don't think there's too much difference. Like, you can probably get the same time. I think you can easily get the same time with NTSC than with PAL. But that's if you're pushing really hard and you're really going through it. But PAL, I think, could beat it. And like Lonne said, it's the first time where, for once, the European version, the one that runs at 25 FPS, yeah, that's actually a lot faster than the NTSC version. Or slightly faster.
Yeah, that's just how...
It's odd.
It's weird.
There's even like a comparison on
there's a YouTube video that's a comparison that does it really well.
So he's done that, and he started the timer and left it going, and you can tell the difference.
2 of these stages do not have special stages.
You mean 2 of the rallies that have special
2 of the
stages?
rallies don't have special stages. So you'll see when we just finished Finland here, we just went straight to Spain.
Just because of the fact that there's no super special stage.
Only on the first, third, and fifth. So we'll get one here and we'll get one in the UK.
But Japan won't have one.
No.
Which is fine. Yeah, it's just fine because we're skilled. So you'll notice as well, like Lonne said before about how each with Spain, we're on tarmac, so the grip levels are going to be a lot better, and the cars are going to handle different. So you'll notice my turning inputs are slightly slow, but the grip is always there. Apart from that. Keyboard. Not keyboard. Jesus Christ, don't use that. Controller.
I'm playing on the keyboard.
Ah.
I'm
Completely
too
different.
lazy to plug in my controller. So I just learned to play this game on keyboard.
It's not bad. I mean, you're still keeping up with it. I think we're
CMR2 with a keyboard.
yeah. It's not the first person. But yeah, it's definitely worth like trying some of the games in this series. To be honest, in terms of speedrunning, whether you're a racing game kind of guy or not, even just as like if you wanted to try it and to see how well you do, by all means, feel free to try. We're not a hostile community or anything like that, and there's never really any beef. Yeah, there's no like beef or anything in this community of ours. In fact, it's pretty much very quiet, almost dead, if you want to put it that way. But it's a community which will help you and will give you tips if you need them, should you require them.
Yeah. And
like if you want to know what the fastest version is, we'll tell you.
And it isn't just the CMR games, we also have Dirt.
Yeah.
So like Dirt with Dirt 2, Dirt 3, Dirt Showdown, Dirt Rally.
Most of the games in the Dirt series do have speedruns for them. However, there are 2 or 3 that don't. I say 2 or 3.
Yeah.
Dirt 1 has a speedrunning leaderboard, which, let's be honest, not many people have run that, just me and Lonne. We did have another guy as well, Max, yeah. What's his Twitch name? That's the one. So he also ran that with us, however he hasn't submitted his time, but I'm sure he will. Yeah. So there's that, and then the other thing is we've also got the case of Dirt 2 I'm currently working on slightly in the background, see how fast that would take to complete the career mode, just like any percent, so how long it takes to finish the main career bit. So we're still like working out categories, that sort of thing. Dirt 3 there are definitely speedruns for, and I believe that game is quite competitive because it's a modern game. The game is not 100% optimized, but the guy that's currently got first, I think, for any percent has optimized the game fairly well. I think there's probably still a few more like secrets and stuff that they need to find to make it fully optimized, but the game is practically getting to that point where the person who's fastest on the stages is going to be the fastest person for that game, speedrunning wise. Dirt Rally there's speedruns for, but not like the full game.
No, just individual stages or rallies.
Yeah. Dirt 4, we don't. Well, there isn't one. Again, nobody's really tried on that one. There might be one day, but at the moment, nothing's been planned on that one.
Yeah.
And Dirt Showdown, there has been a run of that, and a couple of like speed runs and stuff like that. Not many, I should add. Probably, I think like 3 runs by the same guy. So it's not too bad, really. But yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, the community that us are in, it's like I said, it's not very big, so we're always looking to expand it in whatever way we can. I mean, just saying, you know, just to mention something that the guys that are running this marathon, I do apologise, I have forgotten your names, but the guys that are running this marathon have done an exceptional job of allowing us in to run this game for you guys. Mainly, like I said, the game itself isn't one that comes to mind at all. It's not a very popular game like it is for some people. So it's always good to see when we submit this and it gets in. And I think as a community, we really do appreciate it. Getting into a marathon.
Speaking of getting this game in, it was actually quite a fun ride. Actually, getting this game in, because Viper had originally selected, then unfortunately he was supposed to be busy. Like he was supposed to be
I was. Yeah, I was at a marathon.
and I was supposed to fill in for him, but then the dates got changed or whatever for the marathon, and we were both available on the current date. So we're just like, let's just make our race. Why not?
Why not? Yeah. But yeah,
the only reason I ran this game was actually because Viper asked if I could fill in.
He did a pretty good job. It was pretty good. I mean, I was like, oh, can't wait to watch run now. Obviously, the dates changed. It's no fault of anybody's really. The dates changed, but yeah, I think in the end that change was actually good for us, to be honest. Just started stage 3.
I think I'm just about to finish 2.
Into 5 right.
But there's literally nothing in there. It's felt like 20 seconds behind, that's it.
Yeah.
That's nothing really.
Well, I
mean,
there
again,
the game
real...
because live split opened twice, so I had to close it. So I
think
lost
it's
like a few seconds at the beginning from that.
I think I also lost like 3 seconds because I didn't realise that it was from the nationality. You can tell I've not run this. It was through like the nationality, and then you have like your name, then the nationality.
Yeah.
And I started it from the transmission.
Last of all things. It would make sense
Exactly.
for the gearbox to be last.
So like it should ask. The thing is though, it asks your name twice. So it asks for your name, so that you can create your profile. Then you have to pick your car and what championship you want to do, what car you want, and what transmission. Then it asks you to type your name again and then pick your nationality. Then it starts playing the game.
Yeah, it's
like with the second game in the series, you used to just select the championship, what difficulty you wanted to run it on, what car you wanted, and one transmission, you're off. Actually, no, it was.
Well, no, you pick your profile as well, but it was just 3 letters, so you could just do AAA.
Yeah. I always used to wonder why the game wouldn't let you type like Mr. McRae or Mr. Viper or something. Just type in some random name, and they left it to 3 letters.
Yeah, because the AI has full names. So.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I always used to think that was a bit unfair. Like this McRae, Backer, Hubber, stuff like that, and then there's just you, Burger.
Yeah.
Like, that's it. There's not like a full name there. There's like bruh.
Although I like the classic Just 3 A's.
Just when you can't be asked typing your name, you just go
Yeah. Well, that's the standard. That's the standard for like.
Lucky uses more than anything else. That's the reason why it's always like you can just use Lucky does, so it's not like you'd be the first to use it.
6 right and 5 left.
Who's the fastest on the stage? Oh, it's
And 6 left and 6 right.
Yeah, it kind of works.
50 long, 6 right.
It's like, who's fastest?
Yeah.
Didn't know it was
Yeah.
2 left.
just things. It just complicates things. It's weird.
Yeah, but, honest, but that is like the classic when you need when you're too lazy to put in your name, you just put in like an A.
Into 3 right.
Because actually the first letter it highlights is an A.
Yeah.
36 right.
So you just go ah. You often notice that we'll end up using that in something like when we do the challenge percent and the arcade percent speedruns, because they always require you to type your name as you go in to pick the next country, and that's the reason.
Into 5 right.
Alright, I'm
Very
just
good.
coming in to get some syncing issues fixed. I was
Okay.
trying to ask Viper or something. Viper, when I leave the call again, or I guess I can just deafen on here and then listen on the stream.
Yeah.
So when I say go, tell me your in-game time. Go.
In-game time 30.
3, 2, 1. And 5 right, and 2 left. And care, 6 right, keep in, and 2 left, don't cut. Bump, and 2 right. And long 3 right, 30.
I think we're nearly finishing Spain.
We are at one.
Alright,
Stage
I think we're
4.
synced now.
I think we're good.
2 left. And 3
Yeah,
right.
we're on stage 4. Oh, he's not.
30, very long.
Also,
3 right.
I've not really been keeping track of chat. I can't say it
And long
much.
6 right, and
Yeah,
long
no, I
I
tried
don't
to
suppose we've
show
had
chat,
any
but
questions, have we?
I couldn't get it working.
I don't suppose we've had any
50
questions,
long
have
to
we?
right, Titans.
Let me check.
Because I mean, if we've had any questions, I feel bad if we've not answered them.
Opens to 6.
No.
Hey, if anyone does have any questions, feel free to ask.
Into 6 left.
Yeah, by all
over,
means.
70.
Do you want
No,
me to just
halfway
stay
on
here? Do you want me to just stay here then?
Yeah, I can do if you want.
Into
And
long
Alright.
3 right,
If we get
70.
any questions through, it'd be a big help.
Yeah.
Oh, Sparks. I forgot this game has Sparks. Mind you, the third one did, didn't it?
And long 3 right,
I
opens.
don't remember. I should
I think it
remember. We
does.
played it like a week
3 left,
ago.
opens.
Oh yeah, by the way,
Hey.
Viper, you're 30
Yeah.
seconds ahead.
Oh, that's not bad. I was expecting it to be about 20, but 30 is good. I feel bad on Lonne's side now, but
No, I
then...
had an issue with the
70.
start with live split opening.
That's still
two-
good though. I mean, it's not like we're about 2 minutes ahead of one another.
Yeah, it's actually
One
even
person's like
pretty
2 minutes
good.
ahead.
I think our stage times are
And
actually
6
pretty
left,
even as
into
well.
3 right.
Yeah, plus I've been repairing wheels and going through, I presume you have as well.
I forgot to do for
Into
Spain.
2 left.
Ah, that might be where you've
Into
caught
long
up
3
then.
left, Titans. And
I think you
right,
will have caught up,
70.
but you'll pay for it, I think,
Right,
later
and
on.
3 left.
And actually, to be fair, I shouldn't have repaired in
And 6
Spain.
right, don't cut. Titans
Sorry, in
to
the
2.
sorry for Spain, because my tyres looked alright. They're like 86% left, so I was like, yeah, I guess I shouldn't have actually repaired them.
Oh,
Now I've repaired them, not too bad.
50, very long 3 left. Titans
Okay,
to
it
2.
says don't cut, but you still just go, cut the stage.
Oh yeah, I know we're kind
And
of late
2 right.
talking about this, but the
And
co-driver has a lot of
And
different
3 right,
things he'll
open.
say that all have different meanings. The number is how sharp the corner is with
And care,
the
long 6 left. Titans to 2 and 2
correct
right.
me, the
don't
longer
cut.
or the
And
bigger
long
the
2
number,
left, Titans.
the less sharp the corner
And
is.
long 3 right, Titans.
Yeah.
So if he says a
Or
corner
it
is
can be done
6,
for. Oh, it could be a gear number.
Right cut
Yeah.
into 6 left.
well, yeah,
Sometimes it's a gear
I've always interpreted it as a gear number on a 6-speed car.
And 6 left over bump.
Yeah, and you'll
6
say
left
stuff
into
like, I
long,
don't know,
2
like
right,
sharp
press back
or
camber.
don't cut, which
30
usually
over
means
finish.
there's like a hazard or something if he mentions don't cut, which would obviously get in your way. Like usually like a rock or a pit or something that would be a problem.
And just like that, I've gone from Spain to the UK. We skipped over a rally, and now we're at the UK. This is the last rally.
Oh yeah, Japan.
Um,
Spain doesn't have a special stage. I thought it did.
5.
God.
What is world
No.
record, by the way?
102.04.
Are you on pace to break the world record?
I don't think so.
I
We're using
don't-
slower cars. I don't think so. It would be.
I think the
cool,
best
but I
time we could. Yeah, it would be pretty cool. Considering all the menuing and stuff, I think it probably will be a
5,
104, 105 maybe.
2, 1.
So that's still way underestimated, like 5 minutes underestimated. That's still good. I suppose it allows to catch back up schedule-wise.
Just Australia that has, and Australia and UK that has special stages. Then I could have sworn Spain did. I could have sworn Spain did.
Yeah, UK definitely has one.
Yeah.
Australia has one. I think Japan might have one. Japan has 5 stages? I don't actually know.
Because saying welcome to Japan, I was like, wait, what? What about the special stage?
It's like, why you know like special stages? Well,
It must
I don't
be,
know.
There must be CMR2 that has it every other, isn't it? Like
Yeah, it's like every 2 rallies or something. Same with CMR1. CMR1 and 2 both have super special stages every 2 rallies. CMR3 has it at the end of every single rally.
But CMR3 has 6 stages per rally.
Yeah, true. That run would have been a lot longer.
Question. Where are you guys from?
Okay.
Both
Do you
UK,
want to be
I'm
specific?
from middle of England, Manchester way.
Scotland.
I'm not gonna be exclusively, open about where I actually live, but Manchester, UK is where you get it. Manchester,
1,
England.
2, 3, Kappa
Well,
Lane.
duh.
Yeah, 1, 2, 3, Kappa Lane. There you go.
Yeah, Manchester. Greater Manchester. I think it is Greater Manchester, England, which is literally smack bang in the middle of England, or smack bang in the middle of the UK.
Yeah, I'll put it simply.
One
I'm
caught
in
up
the middle
like
of nowhere.
2 seconds.
And I think, Lonne, you are.
I'm in the middle of nowhere, Scotland.
In the middle of nowhere, Scotland.
Yeah.
Called 1, 2, 3 Kappa Lane.
Yes, exactly.
1, 2, 3 Kappa Lane, middle of nowhere, Scotland.
Yeah.
That's it. That's his address. Please don't send fan mail there.
Well, clearly I live on 579 Frickersy Avenue, so...
Oh, whoa, what? I just saw that. I didn't know the church did that. Did you?
What?
Right, so on stage 1 for the UK, when you go past the church rings out church bells and stuff. It's like, no. Die. It's like a dying church bell. I just heard it and I was like, I've never heard that before.
I don't think I've ever noticed.
So then I just took notice of it. I'm like, wait, the church bell rings at church bells? What? Since when? I've run this game like for the last couple of months. I've never once noticed that that's running it.
Yeah.
Hey.
I guess it's something you don't really pay attention to, and you're just sort of, not paying attention to the car and chat.
And 6 left into 3 right.
Right, so just to ask, have we thought about how we're going to start the timers for when the first person finishes the second person?
Well, I think Lon's gonna finish second, so that won't be a problem.
It might not happen, he might win. Just in case my game crashes.
Then he doesn't stop his timer, and I tell him when to stop his timer.
Okay. Yeah, I think we can roll with that.
Yeah.
And I'll just,
I need to make sure I win then.
4, 3.
Nah, it's not a
so.
not a contest. Ooh, fighting talk, I like it.
Alright.
Let's bring it. NG power, come on, don't fail me now.
Well, yeah, MG's British, so yeah.
All British. Oh yeah, cool.
So you know the first corner of stage 2 just crashed into.
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh. Ooh.
Crashed into
Your
the
entire
bridge.
back window is gone now.
Yep.
Ah.
What is even in
that's
there?
honestly.
It's like
It's
bicycle.
an extra tire.
Oh, we'll take a bicycle. I don't know why.
Could be.
Well, then again, yeah, I think rally drivers used to do cycling and stuff when they got to the rallies, like before the stages.
Maybe.
So there is a possibility they accidentally packed the bike in the back. Bicycle. So that'd be funny if you had a wreck. It's alright, I could just cycle to the finish.
Yeah.
Just wreck the car, sack it, I will fight on.
It's still technically part of the car. It came from it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, just have the co-driver shouting out co-driver. Shout out his pace notes on like a bicycle. Right over Cresta!
Yeah.
That'd be really funny actually. It's a jump! Oh god, what are you doing? Slow
Oh
down!
man, lock.
There's a hill! What? Jump!
Long three left, 50.
Put your brakes on! Alright, yeah, I got it.
Two
Yeah.
right,
Oh my
30.
gosh. And over finish and power slide skid. Oh,
Yeah. Falls over.
Into 6 left
Falls
over
off.
crest. 30
Oh
left
my
and
God.
hairpin right.
That would be actually really hilarious. Welcome back to the WRC of Great Britain. Tonight,
Yeah.
the person who's
Right, we got
currently
a
leading,
race.
we got a cyclist. Get him out of there. No, wait, it's Colin McRae, and he's winning.
6 left.
Oh, here comes Richard Burns, and he overtakes him in the Peugeot 206. That's bullet for Colin McRae.
And long 6 right.
It's alright, he's got to... What's this? Colin McRae's putting a jetpack on the back of his bicycle.
Sounds like
Colin
so-
McRae's in the leading.
Sounds like something that would actually be done.
I have never seen this in my 25 years of watching the WRC. Have I ever seen a jet-powered bicycle? Oh my god, what is this? And across the line, and Colin McRae wins the Rally of Great Britain on a jet-fuel-powered motorcycle. Sorry, pedal bike. Just stood there with his pedal bike. Right, Colin, now you've got to pedal home again.
Aye.
Now you've done that rally, now you've got to cycle yourself home.
Oh yeah, tough luck, gotta cycle home.
Forget the Tour de France, just do the Tour de WRC. That's better. Sounds like a better game to me. Cyclist versus the WRC. Let's see how to beat him on a bike. That'd be brilliant. Oh my god.
You have to actually change the vehicle on the leaderboard to say it's bicycle.
Bicycle.
That'd be amazing.
Yes.
It's not Tour de France, it's not Tour de bike or whatever. Tour de WRC. Complete the entire WRC calendar, go through 15 countries, all on 2 wheels. With your co-driver riding shotgun, what could possibly go wrong?
Yeah.
Featuring never before seen countries like Korea, where you have to run from nukes. Japan. Japan, cycle through Shibuya Square. And evade the Japanese police in their little-crappy Japanese police cars.
4.
Oh my god. That's a game I'd buy. I'd buy
Oh,
the
yeah.
hell out of that game.
I'd probably buy it.
Experience WRC like you've never seen before. Unseen police chases.
Yeah, everything that goes on behind the scenes of the WRC that you don't
Yeah.
actually see.
Like they should have that, like the lead up to the WRC event, so you've actually got to make your way from. I don't see why they've not done this yet, but like make your way from one rally to the next via cycling or jet travel and stuff like that. Actually live the life with WRC, drive around. Right.
Well, I
Next.
mean, they're sort of fleshing that out and stuff like F1. So I don't see why they can't do it in a WRC.
Yeah, exactly. Oh god. That'd be really good. Imagine, I can't imagine an F1 game being like that. Imagine it, just like
Yeah.
Lewis Hamilton wins the British Grand Prix. Now he's got to take a 2,000 mile cycle trip to Germany for the next race. Oh, that'd be funny. It'd be cool, but I don't know. Oh dear. And they had in like, like hidden hazards and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Cycle through power plants and stuff like that just to get to your destination.
Yeah, just to spice it up.
Yeah, and then at night time you realise why is the driver glowing? Oh dear. He's glowing. It must have been that trip through the power plant that's done it.
Yeah.
Oh no.
5 right and 6 left.
Oh,
Opens
dear.
50. Turn left.
It's no surprise why Ukraine hasn't ever done a rally.
And 6 crest 36 left.
I'm not going to explain that one, I'll just let people figure it out. But I'm going to say, I don't think it's any surprise why Ukraine or... Has Korea ever done a World Rally event? I don't think they have. They've done an F1 event, but not a rally event.
I don't think they have
And
a
6
track.
right opens long.
It's a
and
shame.
2 left.
India's not even done one either. Oh, India would be a bunch of laughs, that'd be funny. Driving past little crappy taxis on Indian streets. Stuff like that, that'd be funny actually.
Yeah.
I'd pay that. I'd pay to play that. end up. Yeah, from there though, if it's set in India, it wouldn't be the WRC. It'd be you'd be in a rally car, but you'd see how fast you can deliver food to the charities. So it'd end up being like a food charity game. So there could be some like competition like WRC. But it'd be
like
racing
Crazy
on the food
Taxi.
delivery service. Yeah, you just race on the food delivery service in a rally car. That'd be mint. I don't know what they call that game. What could you call a game like that?
I don't know.
50, keep left and 6 right,
Oh,
and
man.
6 left and right, 50.
Gone in 60 pizzas or something? I don't know. I'm rubbish at thinking up names and stuff like that.
Yeah, I said so.
I don't know. What can we call it?
4,
I don't remember
The
what
taste-
stage
the-
it was
the-
anymore.
1.
The tastes of India or
Long
something.
6 left.
Or the
honest-
drives of India.
Into
I'll be
long
honest
6
with
right,
you, I don't remember what
2 right.
stage I'm on anymore. I think
So
I
we're
just
just, like,
started
going with
stage
it.
4.
50.
And if that's the case, I think you're about a minute behind me now. I think.
Yeah, about 45 seconds-ish.
6 left into turn 2 right.
But yeah, I think you heard it, didn't you, when we were saying about the fact that this game or games like these never really get into speedrunning
Yeah,
marathons
I
often,
heard
other than
that.
maybe Mario Kart and stuff like that.
My
And
car's not even in the marathon.
And 6 left.
you know, it's like is it that? I would say that's bad, but it's even better because something like this, getting in over Mario Kart, is something that is something we prefer because we actually get to run the marathon. But the other thing being that it's a racing game, the marathon, that isn't Mario Kart, so a game that everybody's used to seeing. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
That sounds like I'm being bad towards Mario Kart speedrunners, but I'm not. I'm just saying,
No,
like,
no, you're not.
it's always nice to have like a general change.
I
mean, if the funny thing is, like, there's been a couple of marathons that I've done this year where CMR's, Colin McRae Rally has got into a marathon. But the one by far, and even you know this, Lonne, the one marathon that this game has got into, not this game in particular, but the series in general has got into, is another marathon called UKSG, which is run in Scotland, ironically. And it's ran, I think, the last 3 times. It ran a winter one last year, where I ran Colin McRae Rally 2 and 2005. It ran a spring one, which I didn't run this in, but the recent one that they had, which was the one in summer, that actually I ran the second game again, the first game, and I think that was it, like 2 categories from the second game, so I ran 3 categories from the second game in the same category, and in the first game in the same marathon, so I've run like the same like game 5 times, should we say, the game series 5 times in the marathon.
Well,
It's not turned itself into a Colin McRae stuff. I mean, it's like, and the thing is, funnily enough, after the last event, the last UKSG event, yeah, they want to see me run a game called USA Racer for the next one, because I ran a game called London Racer, and the game is like really cartoonish and stuff like
I think I
that.
saw London Racer 2 on PS2.
It is really cheap. Yeah, it's really cheap. So,
Opens long and tightens.
okay, right, so, are you ready on time, by the way?
No, because I'm not finished.
I mean the one for the marathon, the guy for the marathon. Is it? Sorry, what's the name of your stuff? How do I pronounce it? Kyrak. There we go. I get it. You got it then. Kyrak, I finally get it, yes. Right towards the end of the run when I need him the most. Okay, so when I say I'm done, I'll just say done.
Alright, and I'll tell you what your time is.
Yeah, I can do. Actually, no, wait till Lonne's done, isn't it? Just compare.
Well, I'll tell you what your time is first, because I probably won't remember.
Gotcha. I probably need to write it down somewhere, but I don't have a notepad and pen on me, so I can't write it on.
Just memorize it.
Unless you've got like a notepad on your end, Kaya.
I do not. Actually, I do.
Or notepad on Windows or something, anything, or whatever.
Yeah, I'll do that.
Anything like that works for us.
I'm already setting up Sonic Adventure. Because I want to save time on schedule, you know?
Yeah. Just after the marathon might have started a little bit late.
Yeah, you know.
just like an hour.
Sleep or anything.
I know. Oh, am I gonna get beat by golf? No. NG power for the win. I shall never get beaten by a golf. Never. Unless it's my cousins and stuff. Right. And done.
102.00.
Rubbish. No way.
Yeah.
Really?
No, it's like slightly more, I think. Maybe. Your stream doesn't end it on my end. Well, I'm gonna see what the timer says on the end. 102.19.
There we go.
I think.
Is that when I crossed the line?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that world record?
It's
No.
not, but it's 15 seconds off our record. Holy cow.
I think we need to retime that because I think your stream was off. I don't
Might
know.
have been. I
Alright,
think even
and
if it was, we
I'm
timed
just
it.
about to cross the line as well, and I'm done.
Wow, that's a 102.40. That's a 102.48 for you. Yeah.
That is
Wow,
a PB
good
of
race,
30
guys.
seconds.
That's a PB for Lonne.
Yep, by 30 seconds.
Nice.
Wow, that was a
The low
really close
PB.
race.
Yep.
That's the best thing, like, about races. We found that when we do the races, we can do really, really good times. I think it's just because we concentrate so hard, and we actually, because we're against each other.
See, that just,
Yeah.
that just shows you how
Provokes you to beat the other people.
shows you how bad my previous PB was when I beat it in a slower car.
The fact that you just beat that in an MG says a lot
yeah.
if you golf.
Which means
if
I
you use a
could,
golf, you're going quicker.
Which means I could definitely beat it in
And
a
Lonne
golf.
crashed a lot, so.
Exactly. Titan crashed out of being faster. And that's literally it. That's Colin McRae Rally 04. The race done and dusted.
Yeah.
All done.
It was a good race.
Oh, good. Actually went quite well. I hope the audience of Next Gen Runners, I hope you guys all enjoyed it. And to my audience watching on my channel still,
For some
Like I said,
reason.
go over to Next Gen Runners. Like I said, the link is in the title. Go ahead over there and chat with everybody else. Don't be a bore. Go and chat with everybody else. And obviously you'll be able to see the times and everything else. There's some really good games coming up. There has been some really good games so far in the marathon. I know this is probably give that time to say, but like I said, just head over there, show them some love.
Yep.
All right.
That's it. All done.
Yep.
All right. I'm going to get started with Sonic Adventure now.
No worries. Just let us know when we're off air.
All right.